Hey, what is going on, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So as you can see, today we are in the garage, and here is my Honda Civic behind me. So it's been about 3 weeks since I posted that last video. My car was kind of up in the air, and we were doing a bunch of things on it. And so today we're just going to give you kind of a rundown on what I've done since then. It's been quite a lot, and I'm sorry I haven't documented it, but I will try and go over as much as I can in today's video and get to it. Alright, see you in a second. So first things first, my car is officially on the ground, and in the rear you can see that I am on the ground and everything. And that is because I got some eBay lower control arms. I bought off somebody off Facebook Marketplace for like 60 bucks because they're just eBay ones, so it's not a big deal. I just needed something to kind of roll my car around on while I'm working on it and before I send it off to the body shop. So I got lower control arms in the rear. These tiny ass bolts, which are 14s, as you can see, I'm trying to put my finger in the camera, which are like up here, which are 14s. There is 2 bolts that are the exact same, and then the one in the shock that are different size. Those bolts are like $20 a piece, $30 at Honda, so definitely try and save those as much as possible. I couldn't get one side out on the other side, so I ended up cutting it and hammering it out. So in the rear, I also installed my gas tank, if you can kind of see here, and I ran my 6AN fuel lines that you see zip tied up here to the rail underneath, both feed and return, one on each side of the rail. I still need to do my brake lines in the rear, which are kind of an issue because this male connector does not want to come out of the female connector, so I might have to get a whole new rubber line, but I'm trying to save these because then I can just bleed my rear brakes and it will be direct bolt on. So that's kind of it for the rear. Then for the feed lines, I have not yet completed, but we are slowly making that. And then for the interior, I have my transmission fluid that I still need to install. I got my Honda K Pro V4 that I got from Garage 16. My K Pro is already underneath the dash because I deleted the heater core. I highly doubt you're going to be able to see it. You can see part of the ECU right here. But I have it all tucked up here and hidden and basically fed through the center console here, so I can just hook up the USB to the laptop and do any kind of programming I need to from here. So the car already has a base map on it. This car was automatic, so I had to do a few things to the stock wiring harness. So for 99 to 2000, it's kind of hard to see. You got a yellow wire with red striping and then a green wire with black striping. These are your verse lights that I have not hooked up to the ECU yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to because this is a race car and I'm only driving this car every once in a while. And then you're not going to be able to see it, but in the stock harness, I needed to put my neutral position switch for the automatic shifter, and I needed to connect the 2 biggest wires on that main connector together, which was the positive and the negative, and basically it helps and unlocks your car so you can crank it over manually from the ignition switch. So up front for my suspension, I have lower control arms from an EG, and the subframe is also from an EG. I have a manual rack, and then I have stock EK upper control arms and stock spindles, as you can see. I got some eBay brake lines, so those should do for now. This is just kind of get the car up and running. I have my 500 horsepower insane shaft axles, so if you're doing a all-wheel drive setup but you don't want to change out your hubs, then you would need the 17 and 18 K-swap axles from Insane Shafts. Those were like $700 alone, so it's kind of pricey. And then coming into the engine bay, I have my Hasport EKK5 motor mounts, which are the same as the EKK2s and all the other ones. The only difference is I have this all-wheel drive mounting bracket because the the front wheel drive transmissions go all the way up to the top here and cut across, rather than this all wheel drive trans comes on an angle and lets you mount the rear trans bracket to the back of the block here. So the ECU that I have in the car is a Honda CR-V ECU that I found from a parts guy like an hour and a bit away. I ended up getting the ECU and my engine harness for $200, which is a steal because this is usually like a $400 harness plus the computer, and I got everything for basically half the price. Next up, I have my Ultra Racing Skunk 2 intake manifold. I think this is good for a 74mm throttle body. As you can tell, I haven't hooked that up and don't have one yet. I have my 6 AN lines here with my K2 fuel rail. I just need the adapters for each end, and then I also, for the feed side, I need a fuel pressure regulator to regulate my fuel, or else I am going to just continue dumping gasoline. This gasoline looks really terrible because I've been using it to clean off the plasti dip on my Mazda wheels, as you can see. Much better than whatever the hell this is. So last night I just kind of used the spare gasoline that I've been basically dumping into that pan whenever I try and crank over my car. I have the parameters set for 2 seconds to dump fuel into my ignition system for 2 seconds. I have my radiator in the back of the car there. Mounts up here. It's from a RSX, but I'm not sure if I'm going to run it because I have to make my own custom brackets. For the feed, it goes in correctly, but for the return, which is into the thermostat, it's kind of a weird shape, so I just kind of have to find a piece of tubing that would fit. And then this is my all-wheel drive transmission with a stock aftermarket clutch system that I just wanted to use to get the car up and running. Basically, I was going to get a twin disc, which is what I had at one point, but right now they're quite expensive and I sold mine to my brother. But yeah, this is kind of basically my build. It's pretty stock except for the intake manifold and fuel lines and coil packs basically. I'm just trying to get this thing up and running for the most part. I ran all my harness wire through the firewall on this side for the conversion harness, which plugs in over here. And then there is a 10mm bolt here that you can move and take out the plug and basically tuck your entire headlight harness inside the rail here and feed it and basically hide it all. So all this works, all my headlights and turn signals and everything. Also, I forgot to mention, when I was dealing with the starter and why it wouldn't crank over, I realized that I did not have 3 contacts of ground. So I have the one in the stock harness, so the CR-V is already loomed into the injector harness. And then I had to custom make one with this piece of wire to run to the back of the valve cover and then basically to the battery negative terminal. And then this one over here I ran from the block of the engine up and underneath the headlight harness bracket here because I already wired off some of the paint that I did over here and kind of cleaned it up, and so now I don't have an over voltage issue anymore. Comment down below whether or not you would like to see me with full carbon fiber hood, or if you would like to see this like BMW AMG hood and cut out the centerpiece and then install some Lexan so you can still see this beautifulness even with the hood closed, because that second option is kind of what I was looking for. But I don't know, carbon fiber is pretty nice. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you could comment, like, and subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. And I am going to continue working on all these wheels and kind of get them cleaned up. But yeah, anyways, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.